Hello again, it's Wing Nation presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength, talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week. We are so glad that you have joined us. Now, normally it's Aaron Evernham and myself in the Hercules Tires studios, but it's Ashley Stremme and Steve Postman. We're at Houston Speedway. How about that? We're winning this week. Yes, exactly. That's something like that. Yeah. Exactly. We're all excited about it. It is the showdown week. We are up to our eyeballs in sprint cars and sprint car fans and live shows and great racetracks. This is just exciting.
We are living large right now.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it. There is nothing better than being at the racetrack, interacting with our fans, and getting to see some darn good sprint car racing. And especially at two facilities that have changed drastically.
Yeah. You're getting ready to go to Jackson, so you haven't seen that yet. We both got our first eyeballs at Houston, and it's beautiful. Wow. I mean, pay-per-view is awesome and does nothing to showcase the racing here. I mean, and it all started Sunday night with great race. I mean, this place, wow. Race. T-Mac, Terry McCarl once said, was telling his boys, he said, Knoxville will make you a superstar. Houston's will make you a race car driver.
Okay.
And this place here will make you a race car driver.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yes, it's going to be, it is great stuff. Yeah, and we'll be here and we'll talk about it at the end of the show. But 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock local time, live shows all week long. Woohoo! Great stuff, that is for sure. Let's get to our Hepner Racing Products hot topics, though, as we kick this off. And, well, the win heard around the world on Friday night. Donnie Schatz, Mr. 300. That was really, really cool, wasn't it?
It really was. And the emotion that he showed, his parents being there, you know, he's busted his tail to get to that number. And when the World of Outlaws tweeted out the list of all 300 races, it really hit home for me, because I know what it's like when you work your entire career to make that success happen, and to take that long for it to finally happen. You know, it was a huge moment for Donnie.
Yeah, first one was 1998 at Cottage Grove, and then he had a little dry spell here recently. 38 races, still dead. His parents were there. And when you join Steve Kinzer and Sammy Swindell on a list, there's only 300 or more race winners. That is really, really neat. So good stuff.
It definitely, I don't want to say pencils your name into the history book. It etches your name into the history book.
He might squeak into the Hall of Fame when his eligibility comes out. Squeak in by like that much. Yeah, absolutely. The Dean Niddle Memorial. We're going to talk a lot of Ohio racing here. The Dean Niddle Memorial, and you know, this is just what Jeff Niddle and everyone does there is so phenomenal. And then to have a race like that end for the last lap pass, Paul McMahan, who's going to join us later in the program, getting the win. We'll talk a little bit about it when we get to our Dry Dean Death Defy move of the week. But poor old Danny Dietrich, this is twice in a row that he's 2 weeks in a row that he's lost a Saturday night feature on the last lap.
It's true, but he's found a couple of W's out there on Ohio Speedweeks as well.
He did well, exactly. Not as well as our other guests. We're going to have Paul on. We're going to have Tyler Courtney, a little sunshine rolling in here.
Winning Ohio Speedweek title this year.
How about that? Good stuff, that is for sure. I thought this was neat, okay? SRX was at Knoxville, okay? And I think I had Tony or Scott Bloomquist as the guys that were probably the favorites to win. Pulling for Brownie, you know, but Tony was stock car experience, dirt track experience. He was going to be tough to win. I think it was great that Tony Stewart won the SRX feature, but I think it was even better that Kerry Madsen won the 410 feature in Tony's car.
It's true, yes. And not to mention, that's when Donnie won the night before his 300. My husband was actually watching with Tony when Donnie won his 300th win there with Tony. And it was cool, just all of it. Just an incredible weekend for Tony.
And Kerry Madsen in that 14 car. Whew, what a combination that has turned out to be. So kudos to the madman, the boss man, and everybody else. ASCS National Tour, the Fred Brown Fib Classic at Grays Harbor. Saturday night, I love this. Cam Smith, Washington driver, defending the home turf first Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour. And as much as I love that, I love that JJ hit the one on Sunday night. He was on our MAV TV show last week. We got to meet him. What a great story. You want to talk about living your dream, what he is doing.
Taking it to a whole nother level, living your dream, quitting jobs, knowing he can come back to them. Great guy that we got to chat with and learn about, because I had never heard about him.
It's got to be great going on the road to win, but boy, it's got to be better coming back home to win. And that's what he did on Sunday night. And finally, Williams Grove, well, Lance Dewey's. I mean, what more can you say? Yes, exactly. Let's see, it's Tuesday. I don't think he's won, so he's still at 101. He's still at 101.
But we have PA Speedweeks.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll add 5 more.
Well, now there's going to be some other competition.
Oh.
There's going to be a little bit of competition coming into town.
Okay.
Someone's had a little NASCAR success here recently. Is going to spend a little time in Pennsylvania.
Yes, it's true.
Dirty and back.
Really put it on. He puts them on it everywhere he goes. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but this is Lance Dewey's, so
Yes,
this might
true.
be the best.
It's true.
Oh,
Might be the
yeah, this
only
might be the only race car driver in America that can hang with Kyle Larson right now. If anyone can, Lance can do it. Well, absolutely, no doubt about it. So there you have it, our Hefner Racing product hot topics. Easy to shop the entire line of Hefner Racing products. Go to hrpracing.com. That's hrpracing.com. And remember, use promo code MRN, 10% off your first order. How about that? A little discount. So hrpracing.com. We talked about this last week. Our dry-dean death-defying move of the week was Cole Duncan driving around Danny Dietrich on the last lap. Well, Danny, we're not doing this. If you want to blame anybody bigger, producer Krager picks these out, okay? This is from the Dean Niddle Memorial. Danny Dietrich leading. Paul McMahan, our buddy Blake Anderson with the call on Flow Racing.
And now for the Dryden death-defying move of the week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track move.
This time by, the white flag will fly. 1 to go for Danny Dietrich and Hunter Schorberg down to the inside. 3-car battle for the lead. Paul McMahon goes around the outside down the back stretch. Final 2 left-hand turns coming up. Off of turn number 4, Paul McMahon will win the Dean Niddle Memorial.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Death, the official DEF of the World of Outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
Over the years, Dryden has stood for uncompromised value and proven performance. Known as the hardest working brand in heavy-duty lubrication, Dryden's heritage is made in America and made to last. Dryden products work to increase the life and enhance the efficiency of your equipment in the toughest conditions. Learn more about Dryden's products at Dryden.com. From grassroots racing to NASCAR, Dryden is a proud supporter of racing everywhere.
Over 200 events from coast to coast, and they're celebrating 30 years of Scattering Soil, the American Sprint Cars Series. The world's largest sprint car sanctioning body is bringing more thrills with wing and even more non-wing action in 2021. 11 regional tours, the national tour. No matter where you are, we're coming to a track near you. Can't be there? Get double the streaming fun with Racing Boys and FlowRacing.com, bringing all the adrenaline to your favorite streaming device. See the full lineup of events now at ASCSRacing.com.
Wing Nation continues on. Let's go to the Dryden Hotline. Joining us fresh off from a win in the Dean Niddle Memorial at Portsmouth on Saturday night, the mayor, Paul McMahan, joins us. Hello, Paul. Welcome into Wing Nation.
Hey, guys. How you guys doing today?
We are doing well. We're actually hanging at Houston, so we are doing well. We're at a racetrack. You've been at a few over the course of time. I'm actually going to throw to Ashley because, Ashley, a Jan McMahon tweet got your attention this week. So, and I think there's probably a question for Paul at the end.
It sure did. Paul, kudos to you for sitting the check up very beautifully on the kitchen table. So it was the first thing that Jan got to see the next morning when she came down the steps.
Yeah, that was very well planned out for her. It was, I mean, I don't do trophies. So the checks are what I always take home, and she kind of enjoys. She just told me, I think Friday, it was about time I won a race. So when I got home, I set it up so she could see that I actually did win a race.
That is neat. Boy, you picked a good one to win. What Jeff Niddle does up there, $17,554 is probably some other money along the way there. Man, there is a guy that is rolling up his sleeves and putting back into sprint car racing, Paul.
Yeah, definitely. Jeff has been doing it. I think this was the 4th one he's done so far. And every year the money keeps going up and up. And the guy hustles, to get product sponsors. I know he called us here at Quick Car and we donated some gauges to him. But Saldana tanks, I mean, MPI, everybody just donates to his cause. And a lot of people walk away with a lot of money. I mean, before we even got through, I think just after the dashes, Dietrich was already over, I think, $1,500 almost, just Tendency Awards. So, yeah, it was, Jeff and his family do a great job and give back to the racers.
Most important question, did you get fudge?
I didn't get no fudge.
Oh, you got shortchanged because
You did.
Dean Niddle used to make fudge, and Jeff has brought that to the racetrack and given it away.
The winner.
Yeah.
Typically, the winner gets fudge. So I'm sorry you got shorted on that one, Paul.
I got changed on that one, but that's all right. I can buy some fudge with the money he's.
No doubt, no doubt. Let's talk a little bit about the race, Paul. I think you started in the 12 starting spot. The move forward throughout the race, and then the last lap pass. Just kind of describe how the race unfolded for you.
Oh, we just, we started off really well. I mean, we started 12th and worked our way up to, I think, 5th. And then, a couple guys had a few issues, Zeb and the Reinhardt got together and fell out. And then on that red, Sunshine got a flat. So that moved me up into 4th. And then I got by Peck for 3rd and was running there. And then Rico got a flat. And, it moved me into 2nd. And then we had a 4-lap shootout with Dietrich. And something happened to him where he was slowing down. And we got to him, was able to get by him on the last lap. Like I told the guys in Victory Lane, sometimes being lucky is better than being good. And tonight was that night, was the lucky to put myself in position. But, I've lost races that way and finally got one back for myself.
It's so true. You're actually our move of the week this week with that pass on Danny Dietrich. Paul, in a moment like that, when it's the last lap and you're passing Danny on the outside there, is it like an aha moment, or are you just so focused on seeing that checkered flag wave?
Yeah, no, you're just focused on, trying to anticipate which lane he was going to, because Danny was running the top all before that. And, you see him having problems and he's kind of moving down when we got the white. So it was trying to put myself in the best position to, when he picked whatever lane he was going to go, that I can go the opposite. And, he went down to kind of pick up, I guess he was running out of fuel maybe. So he got off the banking a little bit to get to the bottom. And I was able to get a car width above him off his right rear and get by down the back straightaway. And then it was just make sure you don't screw up in 3 and 4 to get back to that checkered flag.
Paul, we had dialed you up pre-Ohio Speed Week to kind of break down how Ohio Speed Week can go. And I know that it didn't always go your way, ending on a high note. But what is it like after Ohio Speed Week is over, when you settle back in and when you kind of catch your breath after the turned out 7 nights of racing this year?
Well, for me, it was drive home all night, get home at 5:30 in the morning, and we got up and went to the NASCAR race because it was at home last night. So and then back to work on Monday. So I don't get much of the rest part of it. And then we're going right into PA Speed Week. So just try to get, Ohio Speed Week is a very grueling week. This year wasn't so bad because the temperatures weren't as high as they normally are. So that really helped out a lot. But for a break, I don't get one. I'm, got home Father's Day yesterday, went to NASCAR race, got up 5:30 this morning, came to work. Worked till Friday, worked till Thursday, and off to Pennsylvania for 10 more days.
I love it. Hey, that's what keeps you young, Paul, just letting you know. Can you talk about what it's like? So you said Ohio Speed Week's ruling. I'm sure Pennsylvania is no different. What is the mindset that you kind of have to have going into a week like that?
Well, the biggest thing with when you race as much as, day in and day out for 7 to 10 days in a row, you got to be able to forget about your bad ones and just focus on the next day. And, that's the one thing I learned long ago racing with World of Outlaws is as long as you wake up the next day, you get to do it again. So try to forget about it. Don't get too high. The best advice I ever got was from Dave Helm, one of my car owners. He says, don't get too high on your highs and don't get too low on your lows. Just trying to stay even keel and, everything works out in the long run for you.
Paul, you mentioned that you had a chance to go to the NASCAR race, and that was what an event, National Super Speedway. My gosh, what a huge, colossal event that was. Had to be pretty neat to see one of our sprint car guys get into victory lane. And I think I saw a picture. You might have spent a little time there with him.
Yeah, it was very cool. We got invited by Chad Kendrick. He's a crew chief on the rack lead number 25 NASCAR Truck Series. Got to sit in the suite and relax there, so we weren't out in the heat. And then after the races, we all went down with Andrea and everybody, and got to spend some time with Kyle in victory lane and get my picture taken in NASCAR victory lane. It was kind of cool to be down there, and it was just kind of I've never had that experience in NASCAR to kind of be around it and enjoy it. So it was a very enjoyable day to watch Kyle basically stink up the show by leading as much as he did and checked out as much as he was. But that's what we were there cheering him on, so it was good to see.
No doubt about it. Kyle being the hot topic, it seems everywhere across the board in racing right now.
Used to be last year, we only talked about him on Wing Nation. Now we talk to him on everything MRN,
But Paul, you've shared with me, now that you've got a real job working at Quick Car with Gauges, it's really kind of opened your eye to all the forms of racing now that you're working with these guys in and out, trying to get them what they need. What's probably one of the things that you've learned with this job that most people wouldn't even consider?
This job is the best job I could ever ask for. No matter what, in my end game, my end game of racing is getting close. I mean, I'm 50 years old. It ain't going to be here much longer. So I had to find an end game for me for the rest of my life. And to get to come here and work at Quick Car, go to Lethal Chassis and see the different ins and outs of the modified, and go to Longhorn and go to these other, chassis manufacturers that I've never been a part of, and get to see the ins and outs and what makes these cars tick. And that's what really gets me excited, is learning about other race cars besides a sprint car. I mean, my 35 years of racing, all I've ever done is a sprint car. So to see different things and, have David explain things to me and of how they work, and see if I can make that work, take that to my sprint car side and see if something they do over there can work on my side. So it's very interesting. Didn't know they had so much wiring on these race cars, because I just thought a sprint car, we had 2 gauges and one wire, and a lot of intricate wiring going on in the modified and late model stuff. So just a great job here.
Paul, taking it back to Saturday night, getting that win. You have such a neat history with CJB Racing, with Barry, with the crew guys on that team. That had to be a neat moment to get back to victory lane with those people that have become your family.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, to get back to victory lane with CJB and Barry was very exciting for me. My last outlaw win just happened to be with CJB. I've only won a couple races in between that time with other people, but the most special thing about Saturday night was Tyler Ray I got him his first job out on the road, and to get him and me together and finally win a race together was the coolest thing. I mean, it's, we became friends, and, for 16 and 17, and we struggled. I mean, we was on the struggle bus for 2 years, and, we couldn't do nothing right. And to get over here and to go win a race with Tyler, I've already won a race with Barry, and I've already won a race with Derek Miller that was there also, but to get our first one with Tyler Ray was very special.
Neat.
It's awesome when things come full circle like that. Paul, not to dig into your program, but at Port Royal, we had the opportunity to talk with Barry, and I don't want to use the word frustrated. He was perturbed about how things were going. He wasn't happy with the car, and he said that he was going to make some changes. I'm just curious if those changes happened.
Yes, we put a new car together. And then the very first night out, we get crashed and bend it all up. But Barry worked his magic and pushed it around. And then Saturday night before the race, my guys are out here bugging me out through my window in my office. So excuse me for a second. But to be Saturday before the races, we're welding cracks up on the car because it's been bent and fatigued. And Barry's like, we ought to just take this thing and throw it in the river, because there's a river right next to Portsmouth. And then after the races were over, he's like, well, we'll take this home, fix it all up, get it ready to go for whenever we get it back together. So just just how the racing goes. You hate it at one time and you're frustrated with the race cars, and then we've been fast. We just haven't had the luck. So it was just getting everything together to make it work. And once you get that, it changes everybody's outlook on what your race car's been doing.
I am sure that it does. That's for sure. Paul, we always appreciate the time joining us here. We'll let you get back to your peanut gallery, the heckler session that's out there.
About that, they just like to bug me. I shut the door so they didn't come in, but they found other ways to get my attention away from what I'm doing in here.
No doubt. Congratulations on the big win. Thanks again for joining us. We appreciate it.
For having me on the show. Thanks, guys.
There we go. The Dryden Hotline. That's Paul McMahan joining us here on Wing Nation.
Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTires.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the tire tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTires.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Circle B Diecast is the new diecast outlet from Plan B Sales. What started as Lionel and Chase Authentics apparel distributor has grown into the largest distributor of diecast and now includes Auto World Greenlight Collectibles, Brand Art, Sam Bass Artwork, and University of Racing lines. They have a huge inventory. The folks at Circle B Diecast love racing and support drivers like Kyle Larson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Christopher Bell, and many others with sponsorships and partnerships. And on orders over $20, use promo code MRN for free shipping. Check them out, circlebdiecast.com.
Flow Racing is the home of grassroots racing with over 1,300 races streaming live in 2021. Watch the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl, World 100, Dirt Late Model Dreams, Sweet 16, and much, much more. Subscribe today by going to flowracing.com/MRN. From sprint cars on dirt to SK Modifieds on pavement, arena cross, drag racing, and everything in between, it's here live and on demand. Subscribe today by going to flowracing.com/MRN. That's FLOracing.com/MRN.
Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, continues on to the Dryden Hotline we go. We had a great time talking to Paul McMahan, who won the last race. Now let's talk to the Ohio Speedweek champion. Tyler Courtney joins us. Hello, Sunshine. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
You've done Speedweeks in the past before, in the midget, the USAC Speedweeks. How was the sprint car one? And obviously it ended pretty well, but how do you feel you guys fared overall on that deal?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we didn't win any races, but we won the war, so to say. So, I mean, it was a very successful week. We had we had 3 quick times, 2 new track records. We made, I think, 4 or 5 dashes. And so it was a great week overall. Obviously you always want to win races, but our goal going into last week was to win the Speedweek championship, and we were able to get that done. But yeah, it was tough on our end because, some of the tracks were brand new to us. We'd never even, been there and things like that. So those were challenges going into it, but we were able to handle them well. And it was a great week. It was a hot and dusty week, but that's racing. It's better than sitting behind a desk. So it's hard to complain about it.
It's very, very true.
Yeah.
As we sit at a racetrack ourselves. So
Yeah.
I can relate to that. Tyler, first year with the All-Stars, obviously not your first time in a wing car, but first full year in a wing car. Expectations, I mean, I can't say that I'm surprised. We knew you were going to win races. We knew you were going to be a strong competitor, but to be leading the All-Star points right now, is that something you expected in the first year?
In the back of my mind, yes. But to, kind of have the success that we've had and to be leading points at this point in the season wasn't something that I really thought would be in the works, just because of the things that, like I just said, a lot of places we haven't been to before. So, we go in there and it's a whole new challenge, let alone just me trying to figure out how to get around there with a wing on. But, as a team, figuring out what we need to do with the car and so on and so forth. So yeah, like in the back of our heads, I think we thought we could be contenders for the championship, but to be where we're at right now, I think is kind of a little bit of a surprise to us. But the way we've been running has kind of been just awesome. And so it's, you gotta ride this wave as long as you can, because you're gonna have your ups and downs. So as long as your ups are really, really good, you can kind of build your point leader, so to say, while those guys are having downtime. So, but the series is the most competitive that that I've kind of been a part of in the last couple of years. So you got to take advantage while you're fast, and you just hope that you don't slow down.
One of the absolute neat parts about the All-Star Series is you're in Pennsylvania one week, you're in Wisconsin the next week, you're in Ohio a lot,
Yep.
Indiana. Are there strengths of those type of racetracks? Are there a couple of them that you're still working on, trying to find the fast way around? How is that blended out as far as your performance goes as you kind of near at the halfway point roughly of the season?
Yeah, I think obviously the short tracks we've been really good at. Just I think from coming from the non-wing side of things, short tracks you don't have a lot of wing speed, so you're more kind of throwing the car around, and I'm comfortable with being on the right rear, so to say, and things like that. So I think that's definitely been our strength, especially the week we had in Indiana was incredible. Obviously, me knowing those tracks and so on and so forth were good for us going in there. And then I feel really comfortable on the half miles. If it's on the top, if I got to go to the bottom, that's still something I've got to work on. Just being consistent on the bottom. Just I haven't learned that the brake pedal is my friend yet. So it's tough. It's hard because you still have to run hard when you run the bottom, and but it's been a fun experience to learn, and going to these new places and learn how to get around them the whole night has been a fun experience, and looking forward to it. Still a lot of more tracks I got to go to that I've never even seen before. So excited for the rest of the summer.
Okay, I want you to kind of break this down, because you talk about, the brake pedal is your friend. You just got to figure out how to use it. What is the mentality? Because it's not like you guys get to test. You're literally from racetrack to racetrack. How do you finally just bite the bullet and go, okay, I'm using the brake this time?
Well, so like the other night, I thought I was using the brake pedal, and then we had a yellow and my brakes were really soft. And I'm like, well, I guess I wasn't using the brake pedal because it obviously just had some air in it from where I hadn't been using it. So it's just, mentally I have to tell myself to use it, especially to go and, keep the car loaded down on the bottom and things like that. So it's just something, coming from the non-wing side of things, you steered with the throttle a lot more than you do in the wing car, because you got obviously a big wing on top that kind of directs you where you're going. So just, getting used to, using both pedals has been tough, but something I'm getting better at. It's just, it's a mental thing where I literally have to physically tell myself to use the brake pedal. And it's just something that, hopefully it'll become muscle memory and you're just doing it but that's all going to come with time.
Tyler, as you have worked through this transition from non-wing to wing car, I'm fascinated the way you break things down with wing speed and loading the car and everything. Has there been any people or persons that you've leaned on for this? Has it been self-taught, self-learned? How are you learning these concepts and getting your arms around them?
A little bit of both. A lot of things you just have to figure out on your own, but I'm lucky enough to have camaraderie with a lot of guys out there, and a lot of good guys. Brad Sweet, Kyle, Donnie, things like that. Guys that obviously are really good at this wing thing. So just leaning on them and just learning, when I need to do things or how to do things. Starts and restarts were kind of my struggle there for a little bit, and still kind of are. So just learning where I can put the car, not where to put the car, and things like that. So just trying to, gauge, and then watching a lot of videos, obviously, and going back and seeing what I did wrong or did right, and just trying to fix those little things, because those, especially starts and restarts, can win or lose you a race. So just there's a lot of people, they probably get a little annoyed with me sometimes asking so many questions, and then Dale Blaney, he's at all the All-Star races. So he's been a huge guy to go and lean on. Cause obviously he's been to every track, I think 20 times over that we go to. So it's funny. Whenever we get to a track, he's like, hey, I won here like 10 times. So good luck. It's funny.
Dale has it. About every track he's won at 10 times.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, it's incredible.
When we talk about guys building notebooks, and you've got a pretty good selection in the phone book, it seems like some quality guys there for the help. But obviously that camaraderie, being the first time on the circuit, and now you're winning races. Are there guys that kind of shy away from helping you at this point now?
Yes and no. You know, I think we all have kind of mutual respect for each other. And, you know, if we're not, I don't think we're really scared to help one another, because, you know, if you're making that guy better, you're beating that guy at the best visibility, and that's what everybody wants to do. So, yeah, I think, you know, obviously, like during a long week, like last week, and we were running good every night, some guys, you know, I think we're getting a little mad, but that means we're doing our job right. So, but no, I think everyone's got to, you know, when you race with guys that many times, you got to have a respect for each other and have fun on the road. And you know, you don't ever want to see any guys struggle, and not, because you want everybody to enjoy themselves while they're out there. And racing's supposed to be fun, so we try to make it as fun as we can.
I love in the sprint car world, we have various seasons. When I say seasons, Ohio Speed Week, Pennsylvania Speed Week's coming up. We have the month of money, and you're in an interesting spot running with the All-Stars, because some of the month of money you will not participate with. Some of the month of money you will participate with, but not in a points battle or anything.
Yeah.
Does that alter the way you're able to approach some of these big money races, knowing that it's all about tonight, all about that one night?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when I show up to an outlaw race, or, you know, or just a big paying race that has nothing to do with points, you just lay it all out there. You don't have anything to lose, except for money. So, you want to go there and, you know, beat everybody that night. You want to be the best guy. And it's really my first year to get to kind of go to a lot of these, like, first time going to Kings Royal. This is really the first time I'm going to get to go to Knoxville and be fully prepared, as a driver, instead of just showing up, you know, coming off non-wing stuff to wing cars and things like that. So I'm excited to get to go and experience these races and see what we can do.
You talk about seeing tracks and going and participating in these races for the first time. I found it very interesting that the Dream, the late models race at Eldora, you actually went to and got to check out.
Yeah.
And I'm really shocked. I didn't peg you as a Shannon Babb fan. What's the relationship there?
I don't have a relationship with Shannon Babb, but if you ever watch that guy run the top anywhere,
Yep.
It is impressive. He is not scared. And so, like, really became a fan watching him at Gateway, like, just that little boring, and he's up tearing the quarter panels off that thing every time he's out there. So just watching an exciting guy like that is cool. But then he won on the bottom the other night at Fairbury, so I was a little disappointed in that, but it's cool. It's just it's fun to, you know, kind of interact with you know, guys that are racing a different series, and so to say. And it's just you know, getting to know some of those guys, it just gives you a more of a reason to watch those races and, you know, kind of get more into it. And we had the Dream, the first Dream, that was the one I went to. They had two that weekend, and got to hang out with Brandon Overton later that night after he won. And he's like, it was awesome. We were playing cornhole, drinking some beers, and having fun. It was interesting to, you know, kind of go and mingle and see the different atmospheres and how everybody, you know, what they do after the races versus what we do and things like that. So just, it's cool. I'm a racing fan. So to get to go and experience a race like that was really cool for me to get to do.
This sounds like the beginning of a joke. Sunshine and Big Sexy were playing cornhole.
Yeah. Well, that's,
I don't even know. You don't need a punchline with that. That is the punchline.
Yeah. Well, and so, like, if I ever get to run a late model, I'd like to run for Bloomquist, because I think it'd be cool to have Black Sunshine and Sunshine. I think that would be an awesome thing to do, right?
Yeah, I love that. That is neat. Hey, final question for you. On the midget side, okay, Tim Clausen, your team owner, they put together a car a couple weeks ago, last week I think it was, for Jeff Gordon.
Yeah.
Now, maybe Ashley revealed earlier this week that she had no idea what ESPN Thursday Thunder was, because she's so young. She didn't.
Even I know what it is.
Yeah. She wondered if it was in color.
It was in color. It put Jeff Gordon on the map.
I mean, as a midget guy, as friends with Clausen Marshall Racing, how neat was that to see that go on with Jeff Gordon in that midget car?
It was cool. So they'd kind of been working on it for the last couple of months, just, you know, getting everything. Obviously, Jeff being the person that he is, he's very busy, and making sure all the branding stuff was right and you make sure nobody gets in trouble on that end of it. So it's been cool to, kind of see it all come together and, hopefully it was just going to get to happen. Unfortunately, I didn't get to be there in person, but still cool for us as a team to get to do something like that for Jeff and Raleigh and kind of a way to help promote the BC39 at the same time. But then at the same time, the excitement in those videos and interviews of Jeff, I think that does enough for you as a person, just to see him kind of, let loose and, get back to his roots and just be himself. So it was really cool. And just glad that we got to be a part of it as a team.
Yeah. She's going to go watch YouTube videos of it. That's her special assignment.
The Thursday Night Thunder races were awesome. You should really go check them out. They were really good races. And it opened the gate for, USAC guys at the time to go down south and, let Jeff have a chance, and Tony later on, and Kenny Irwin and a bunch of guys, Mike Bliss. It's those races were badass.
Good stuff. That's for sure.
I'll check it out.
You'll have to check it out. Exactly. They're in color too. Yes. So you'll have to break out a color TV to watch this. Yes. There you go. Tyler, we appreciate the time. Congratulations on the Ohio Speedweek Championship and continued success throughout the course of the season.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
There we go. A little sunshine here joining us on Wing Nation. Stay with us. We're going to set you up for the big week that we have ahead of us here at Houston's and over at the Jackson Motorplex. Stay with us. More Wing Nation in just a moment.
Sage Fruit has been a longtime supporter of sprint car racing, sprint car fans, and us here at Wing Nation. What they pride themselves on most is providing shoppers with the highest quality, best tasting apples, pears, and cherries available. Go to sagefruit.com and make sure you ask your local grocer for Sage Fruit. Sunoco is a proud partner of Wing Nation. Not all fuels are created equal, so fill up with Sunoco Ultratech. Sunoco Ultratech is a top-tier detergent gasoline that is proven to make your engine run cleaner, longer, and more efficiently. Using the same detergent package as what is blended into some of Sunoco's high-performance race fuels, you can trust Ultratech for your everyday race. Whether you're headed to the track or just hitting the road, fill up with Sunoco Ultratech and fuel your best.
Just like racing components, Aggressive Hydraulics purpose-builds hydraulic cylinders to perform for customer-specific applications. They design and manufacture mobile-style, single-stage cylinders as well as multi-stage telescopic cylinders. It's a no one-size-fits-all approach with Aggressive Hydraulics. Hydraulic solutions for virtually every industry that uses hydraulic cylinders. They proudly design and manufacture all cylinders in the United States. Check out the video of their story at aggressivehydraulics.com.
Wing Nation presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength, rolling along, and we're rolling along in color. Yes, unless Krager puts a black and white filter in on us.
I'm never going to live
color,
this one down.
In color. Oh my gosh. Unreal. Yes, absolutely. Hey, we are at Houston's. We've got a big week each night at 6 p.m. Eastern time. That's tonight, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from the Jackson Motorplex. We have got live Wing Nation shows presented by Minnesota Mafia and Sage Fruit. All the cars, all the stars. We're going to be on Dirt Vision's Facebook page, Dirt Vision, Wing Nation's Facebook page, World of Outlaws, Houston's, Jackson.
All the things.
All the
I'm
things.
just looking forward to pancakes.
That's right. Oh, yes. And all kinds of great things going on here. There's a golf tournament coming up. There's a craft fair. There's the AGCO open house in the Infinity Center. But yes, each morning over at Jackson, there's pancakes. Yeah, and so last time we were here, Aaron got to flip them way up in the air. So I think you're up for that. Yeah.
Do I have to eat it if it doesn't?
Well, she's gonna record it. She's gonna record it, so there'll be
But
video.
if it hits the floor, I don't have to eat it.
Then you're gonna have to handle that with somebody else. That's not my call. It's not my call. So neat stuff, that is for sure. We are here all week long, and it is going to be a blast. That is for sure. Coming up later this week on Thursday, joining us on our Thursday podcast. Because the racing is not just here. Pennsylvania Speedweek kicks off this weekend. Alan Kreitzer, he's one of the organizers of Pennsylvania Speedweek. He will join us on the podcast. Wing Nation gear, like this beautiful shirt that I am modeling here. Yes. Oh boy, that's a disturbing, yes, disturbing thought, that's for sure. Wing Nation gear is available at www.wingnation.com. Coming up this weekend on our television program presented by Sage Fruit, David Gravel. Love talking with David Gravel.
He's a good dude.
Yes, he is. That is for sure. So, hey, we appreciate the mayor and some sunshine.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, the
And
mayor.
some big sexy.
And, well, we had big, sexy, and black sunshine, too. So we had it all joining us here. But more important than all of that, thank you for joining us here on Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires.